Hey, good morning, Friday morning. My coffee has almond milk. I didn't get to the reading yesterday because I had clients and I edited and uploaded my latest video and I was playing with my new tarot cards that I'm so excited about and sorry. So I'm starting the day with the coffee, with the reading. And we're almost done. We're going to do the brain tuners today. And then there's a little bit, he finishes the book, not so much with tuning forks so much, but the concept of resonance and dissonance is how he ends the book. So, there might just be, actually there might only be 2 days of reading left. Before I start, let me just scoot back. Whenever I get new tarot cards, not whenever, but oftentimes, when I bring in new cards, then I clean house and pass cards along. So these are currently up for grabs. And all I'm asking for is that you essentially pay for shipping, which I have to look at. I think it's like $8 to send one of those flat rate packages. So if you were to just go like to buy me a coffee and buy me 2 coffees, a coffee is $5. I think if you buy me 2 coffees, then I'll send them to you. Just pay for shipping. And if you want more than one deck, buy 2 coffees for one, and then just buy 1 coffee for any other. But let me just go through these real quick. All you have to do is email me or just drop a comment below. So this is the bicycle Rider-Waite. So they're the shape of playing cards, which I like them because they're like, I just like shapes of cards are very important to me because I have big hands. It's the Rider-Waite. They're just in a playing card format. So there's those. And then these did not come with any kind of book, but I think there's a book online. These are beautiful cards, but honestly, they're a little too pretty for me. Kabbalah themes in here. The solfeggio is in here, like here, Yogini of 285, right? That's a solfeggio frequency. Beautiful cards, just too much. It's called the White Light Oracle, but I've been calling it the White Wolf Oracle because of that wolf. Anyway. Just a little too much. Too pretty. My Kipper. This is my first Kipper deck. I have to see. I think there might be a book for this somewhere. Kipper, the imagery is different. The cards are usually small. There's lots of resources online. Very good resources if you want to learn Kipper imagery. But it's pretty, it's kind of duh, really, which is one of the things I love about Kipper and Lenormand. They just snap you right into the reading. I will look to see if there's a book. It wouldn't be very big if there was. Now this is a gorgeous deck, and the Edouard Dulac. There is a book. That's a Howard Pyle painting. I have had that painting in my home. I've had that poster in my home, in fact. That's why I bought this deck, because that's a Howard Pyle painting that has been on my wall in the past. It's a beautiful deck, and I bought it for the Howard Pyle painting, but I don't, I don't know, it's too much for me, and I don't like the shape of the cards, and the shape of the cards are important, so there's that. And lastly, it's the Bosch, the Hieronymus Bosch. And this is interesting because I bought this deck, had it for a while, didn't like it, gave it to a friend, and she ended up giving it back. So yeah, it's the images of Hieronymus Bosch. So you're gonna find those offensive, or you're gonna appreciate them. Okay. Regular tarot imagery. Okay, so I'm just passing these along. Just pay for shipping. Can just yeah. I think I have to look it up, but I think one of those first class packages is like $8 or something. So it's just a matter of figuring that out. So yeah, let me know if you want any of these, and just pay for shipping, and I'll get them out to you. Okay, so we're going to be working with the brainwave tuners today. Remember, we did the planets last time. The only tuning fork set that I don't have, because I just don't see the point anyway. So here we go. The brain tuners are tuning forks designed to use sound to signal the brain to shift into different states of consciousness, called delta, theta, alpha, and beta. Each state of consciousness is based on brainwave frequencies measured by electroencephaly technology, EEG. Research shows that during a 24-hour period, we naturally shift into and out of these states of consciousness in order to perform different life activities and tasks at our maximum capacity. Delta, theta, alpha, and beta brain frequencies are always present in an EEG, and it is higher amplitude frequency that determines your state of awareness. For example, if your alpha frequency is appearing at a high amplitude, you're in alpha state. Theta, delta, and beta wave cycles are present in lower amplitudes. Delta. Here's delta. Delta frequency is 1 to 3 cycles per second and looks like this on an EEG machine. Delta frequency is associated with deep sleep. The great yogi Patanjali said that quality deep sleep is a wave of thought about nothingness. During the delta frequency, we connect with our source, the universal energy field, which provides energy and repair to revitalize our body. Alpha, beta, theta. Next, we're going to do theta. Theta is that, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Theta is that in between, like when you're nodding off or when you're starting to wake up. This is theta, my favorite place. This is where all that great suggestion comes in. So when people say, like, you know, there was a time where it was popular to listen to these cassette tapes as you were falling asleep, because You would be receiving, you would be hearing the information while you were in theta. And then, you know, the tape would end, and you would be in delta by then. But playing on that, that great receptivity. So anyway, here's theta. Theta frequency is 4 to 6 cycles per second and looks like this on the EEG machine. Theta is known as twilight state and often associated with mystical experiences. It's the state we're in before we enter into deep sleep. We also find it as we rise out of deep sleep and go into waking consciousness. Theta awareness is associated with a waking dream state that's filled with vivid imagery and clear auditory perceptions. In theta awareness, we are receptive to information from our superconscious mind and are better able to hear the voice of the healer within. Theta is also associated with the gateway to learning and memory. While in theta awareness, we have better access to our unconscious resources and can access more memories. It's the gateway to learning because the material we are studying can be imprinted on our unconsciousness and then assessed through theta awareness. Often, when we know or have strong intuition about something, we shift it into theta awareness and access important memories or learnings necessary for that moment. So, I have done a lot of singing bowl sound baths in my time, and along with guided meditation, where you speak in a certain way. And the goal of those things is to get you into theta. You're awake, you're laying on your yoga mat, but you're in this very relaxed state that's heightened, even though your eyes are closed and you're laying back between the sounds and the vibrations from the singing bowls and the drums and the rattles and whatnot, and my voice that is speaking like this. You take them into theta, and it's very healing. Alpha, alpha, alpha. Here's alpha. Seven to 12 cycles per second looks like this. Alpha awareness is associated with being relaxed and centered during activities. In sports, alpha is the zone, a state in which an athlete performs at his maximum capacity. Alpha awareness allows us to process information at a high rate, and for this reason, it's associated with heightened learning. The athlete can see the entire play of field, understand what's required, and know exactly what to do. The average person enters alpha awareness during problem solving, which requires him to slow down and find creative solutions. For this reason, alpha awareness is associated with thinking outside the box. As in theta, it's a dreamlike quality, however. The alpha dream is associated with the waking state and requirements of daily life. When in alpha, we can visualize our day and plan our actions. We can be introspective, creative, and see solutions that are not available in other states. Many artists and scientists talk about discovering answers or solutions to problems just before they go to sleep. Their waking mind is still working, and their awareness is expanding beyond their normal focus. Suddenly, we see something different, and the solution appears. Beta. Beta, you're on it, you're on it, you're on it, right? Notice if you're feeling these in different parts of your brain when I strike them. Cycling 13 through 20, and looks like this on the EEG. Heightened alertness and peak concentration. While in beta, we focus on getting things done, that get her done. Our mind is moving fast, our body follows. We see a task and immediately go for it. Our energy level's high, we're motivated. Because our awareness is heightened, we know we can accomplish it. The mantra for beta is go, 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 do, do, do. However, when beta awareness dominates, it's associated with stress disorders like type A personality leading to burnout. Beta awareness is necessary to accomplish a task. However, it must be balanced with alpha and theta and delta. Getting things done requires the vision of alpha, the deep resources of theta, and the good night's sleep of delta. When the brain tuner forks are simultaneously sounded, one in the left ear and one in the right ear, the left and right hemispheres of the brain coordinate to integrate the two sounds together through the different tone between them. This difference is called a binaural beat. It is heard as a pulse moving between the two tuning forks. It's a binaural beat that synchronizes the brain with the desired state of awareness. For example, the theta frequency is produced by sounding the fundamental tuning fork with a 256 CPS in one ear and the delta tuning fork, which is 261 in the other ear. The difference between them, 261 minus 256, is 5, which is theta. So does that make sense? So that's how all binaural beats work, is you have one frequency in one ear, one in the other, and the difference between them is the tone your brain processes. So here he's saying you've got a delta in one ear, and the fundamental in the other ear. So two different frequencies. If you minus one from the other, the space between them, which is 5, is the tone your brain processes. And that's how all binaural beats work. That's the process of entrainment, which is what singing bowl baths are all about. Researchers believe the sensation of the binaural beat originates in the superior olivary nucleus, which is located in the brainstem. This is the area of the brain that helps us locate the source of sounds in 3 dimensions. When you hear the binaural beat of the tuning forks, the superior olivary nucleus seeks to integrate the sounds through a mechanism which researchers call following response. The result is that the pulse of the whole brain waves toward the binaural beat of the tuning forks. This is the process of entrainment. Functioning at a high level of awareness requires shifting in and out of delta, theta, alpha, and beta states throughout a 24-hour period. You can visualize a car shifting in and out of different gears to meet the requirements of the road. Each gear has a different purpose, such as fast pickup, cruising, climbing hills, slowing down. In a similar way, we need to shift in and out of different states of awareness in order to meet the challenges of life. I'll read here to the end. Shifting awareness. The process of shifting between delta, theta, alpha, and beta begins by identifying the behaviors of your current state of awareness. To identify these behaviors, observe and note your actions and then associate them with the behaviors related to the different states of awareness. For instance, you may be doing a project and simultaneously planning your next day's activities, which would indicate a beta state. Next, tune in to the felt sense of your current state of awareness. During this process, it's important to associate behaviors with your felt sense for several reasons. First, felt sense is not intellectual. After some time working with it, you'll be able to identify your state of awareness without having to think about your behaviors. Second, felt sense is the gateway to perceiving the pulse of your state of awareness. I'm going to read that one again. Felt state is the gateway to perceiving the pulse of your state of awareness. The sound of the tuning forks interact to create a binaural beat which resonates with the pulse of delta, theta, alpha, and beta. Over time, you can learn the binaural beat of the tuning forks and shift states of awareness without needing the fork, which is what we were doing before. You get to a point where you can create it instead of having a tuning fork that you need to resonate. Your body remembers what those frequencies sound and feel like, and using the chambers in your body that are resonant, you use your voice in those places to create it, which is why in earlier exercises there was so much, I'm going to sneeze again. Morning time is a nose blowing, sneezy period of time for me, sorry. Maybe I'm not going to sneeze, I yawned instead. But it's why in earlier exercises we spent so much time doing things like this. You're using the resonant capacity of your own voice and the hollows and chambers in your own head or throat to create these resonances, and that's beta, by the way. So getting stuff done. Okay. Your felt state is a global feeling that emerges from your body. To tune your felt sense, take a deep breath and get a sense of your whole body. At first it may appear as if body quality you may feel, like heavy, sticky, jumpy, light, fluttery, loose, or tight. When someone says, I feel uptight, I feel as light as a feather, you're tuning into that felt sense and allowing descriptive words to come of it. Felt sense is awareness of our body consciousness rather than our intellect. The next step involves tuning into the rhythm of your felt sense. For example, you may have a felt sense of tightness. To amplify your felt sense, make a fist and tighten it until the tension matches your felt sense. Next, tune into the rhythm of the tension, which may appear as a slight shaking or a movement quality that underlies this tension. This will lead to a whole body sense of the rhythm of your state of awareness. In general, the rhythms range from slow to fast, delta being slow and beta being fast. So see, he's encouraging you to consciously manifest how it feels into something that you can see. Like, oh, I'm so tense. Well, how tense are you? Let's see. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Right? And then like, ooh, and I'm so uptight, I feel like I'm shaking. Well, if you hold your fist long enough, it will start to shake. So it's like becoming really conscious of it instead of trapped within it. When you have identified the behavior and turn to the felt sense and rhythm of your current state, then select the tuning forks that resonate with that state. For example, if you identified you're in alpha, then select the fundamental brain tuning fork and the alpha tuning fork. Knee tap them and bring them to your right and left ears. Allow yourself to merge with the binaural beat created with the tuning forks. Simultaneously associate the beat with all the qualities. So yeah, the fundamental, this is the fundamental, which resonates, I believe, at 256. I'm looking back, which is a solfeggio frequency. But I'm looking back to get the, 256. And that comes with a tuning set. If you get a full set, you can buy individual tuners, or you can get a full set. This is a full set. This is a full set that actually includes gamma, which he doesn't talk about. Feel that one in a completely different part of your brain. Gamma, this is going to sound out there for some of you, but people that talk about super soldiers and whatever you want to call them, planetary beings and their different kinds of planetary traveling devices, shall we say. they're operated, they're smart. You don't push a button and turn a key. They are neural linked, and they link to gamma brainwaves. So super soldiers have talked about, as their memories come back, part of why they were recruited in the first place is it was discovered that they, even as children, had these off-the-chart capacities for gamma. Very high frequency attunement, and that's like 40 all the way up to 100 cycles per second. I believe that when I communicate with, well, it's not communicate, when I am doing work out on a site with the water or with trees or whatever, I believe that's where I am. I'm in gamma. If I am receiving information from the Akash in the water, or from trees, or from ancestor spirit at a cemetery or a battle site, I believe, and part of it is where I feel it coming into my head is gamma. When I am doing that work and I am flooded with what you might refer to as light language, some of which I've recorded when it was coming through me on my, there's a short of it on my YouTube channel when last time I was at Fort Caroline. That's gamma. That's pure gamma. It's, I can't prove that, but I'm just telling you based on where I feel it moving into my head, and it's a very high frequency. It's not asleep, but it's also not monkey mind. Ooh, do, go. That's monkey mind. This is higher. This is complete presence and immersion. That's gamma. Okay, where was I? Next, ask yourself if your current state of awareness is appropriate for you in your life at the moment. If your answer is yes, the process is finished. If your answer is no, then you need to shift into a different state of awareness. Begin by identifying the state of awareness you want. It's best to focus on a state of awareness that is either one up or one down for where you are. For instance, if you're in beta, it is best to focus on alpha. If you're in alpha, focus on beta, vibing up, or theta, chilling down. I'm just going to read to here, and that'll be it for today. Choose a braid tune or tuning fork that's associated with your state of awareness that you want. For instance, if you shift from alpha to theta, then choose the fundamental tuning fork and the theta tuning fork. Visualize the state you want to be in to shift, and simultaneously recall the felt sense and rhythm of that state. Tap the fundamental and the theta tuning forks on your knees, or your hockey puck, or your thenar eminence, and merge. Okay, the last thing's an exercise. The goal of the brain tuners is to train your nervous system to recognize and shift into the different states of awareness. The more your auditory and nervous system become familiar with binaural beats associated with each state of awareness, the easier it is to shift to and from. The purpose of this exercise is to train your mind and nervous system to recognize and shift. Find a safe and quiet space. Lay out your brain tuning forks. Begin the exercise with beta. Hold the fundamental tuning fork in your left hand and the beta tuning fork in your right. Visualize a felt state of beta. I am prepared and ready to shift into and learn about beta. So he's saying you take your fundamental, which what the fundamental does is it's like a universal fork that will harmonize with this one, right? So it creates a similar pattern. So lay out, you've got the two, you're like, I'm prepared to shift and learn from beta. So you strike, let your brain absorb that. And you feel it all. So you feel the swirling and the whirling, and you feel the pictures and the colors and the images that you get. And you learn from that process. And then you stop and you feel it. And then I'm not going to read it all, because what he does is he go through the whole thing. And that's really interesting to do, because then you can identify different parts of your brain and the things that work through there. So that's as far as we're going to go with those. Let's, I got these new cards yesterday and I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and just draw 3. These are the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. They're so beautiful. Let's go ahead and just, let's draw 3. They probably haven't been shuffled enough. Let's just draw 3. Let's see, message from the universe that will help on this day. And then I'll read from the book for you. So we've got Magical Map Shifter and Mountain with Bone Collector at the bottom of the deck. So that being that shadow position, shadow not being bad or evil, but potential energy that is not yet realized. So our first card is Magical Map Shifter. Let's see. And it's 52 for those of you that do gematria and that stuff that I can't do because my brain doesn't hold on to numbers. Spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. When the Magical Map Shifter card arrives, it comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life to impact your personal growth. That's good advice for these times. Oh, I'm sorry. That's totally reflecting on. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best that you can be, or someone that leads you out of difficulty into a place of safety. Pay attention to those individuals who cross your path today and cause you to feel reflective on your journey. Be awake and aware, and you'll recognize them as the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. A magic map shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. Okay, and then we've got Mountain, which was the card that really drew me to it yesterday, but that's because a part of me is so elemental. I identify with like the quartz in the stone, from a certain standpoint. So I identify with that, but then I also identify the ether in the cosmos, So Mountain. You have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Holy cow. Wow, is that appropriate? Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling around it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers and flow around the mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is a time to adapt to your circumstances. If you do decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time. So that's pretty poignant, right? Be aware of all the people and opportunities, good or bad, that come to you today, because they're all very poignant. And then be water, as Jeff Chan would say. Okay, Bone Collector is that position. Oh, that's card number 1. that potential that exists in the background. God, my ring is so... You are whole and have everything you need within. When the bone collector appears, she's asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see that you're finally present or reaching out of past conditioning and unconscious expectation. Whether you're wounded, especially when you're young, it's as if something essential is broken from us. We adapt and accept a vision of the truth that then sets us up to believe a certain way in the future when faced with similar situations. What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by this perception, which is often limiting. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable or expect to be criticized. The bone collector reminds you that you have the truth and that you are a powerful thing with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding, and it's here for you to reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the bone collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find what you have, after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past do not define you now. So cool. It is a wonderful triptych for today. Enchanted map cards. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I think we got one day, maybe two. Two more days. I'll read resonance tomorrow, and then I'll read dissonance, and then that'll be that. And then we'll move on to the mudra cards. All right? Yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is, after we finish this book, I'm going to go through the mudra cards. So there's, I think it's 108 cards in here. And they're flashcards for a mudra. So we'll go through the mudras. We'll read what's on the card, and we'll practice those mudras. So I'll do, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 a day until we go through there. And then at the end of that process, we'll do the same thing that we're doing with tarot cards, because I actually am passing these on. But I'll share them, and then I will just send that off to whoever wants it, whoever sends me the money for shipping. Okay, so thanks for hanging out with me. This is my battery. I'll see you guys tomorrow.